All right, what's up, guys? I'm inside the 2022 Hyundai Kona, and I'm in the drive-thru, and watch what happens in the instrument cluster, the right dial. It recognizes the car in front of me has driven away, and it's telling me that the lead vehicle is driving away. Isn't that brilliant? So smart. Love the technology and safety features. Now it's time to eat.
This, my friends, is the 2022 Hyundai Kona. We have the limited trim level in all-wheel drive. This is lunar white for the exterior paint color. This is a member of the Hyundai Kia family. Kona has been around for a while. This is the latest version they've come out with. If you're a person who likes to drive from home to work, running errands, you have a couple of kids, but you're not too concerned about cargo area and space, then this is a good vehicle that'll get you there. Today I'm going to give you some demonstrations and show you around the vehicle, maybe some pros and cons from my point of view, my impressions, and then you can develop your own likes and dislikes of this vehicle. Anything I forget to mention or don't mention, which should be a lot, will be found on everymandriver.com. I'll put a link to that article below this video in the description box below. Since I don't know how familiar you are with Kona, let me point some things out about the front end here. As compared to previous years, the front headlights are very different than before. There's a sleeker line right here, and just below you find some more lights. So they've got an interesting streamlined look in the front and no emblem down below, but of course they have the Hyundai emblem up here with this interesting black grille design. I like the way this looks in the front. One of my favorite features on the exterior is the front end. Under the front hood is where Hyundai keeps their power plant or their engine. This is a turbo GDI. Here on the top they have SmartStream G. This is the power plant that helps this vehicle move. This is where you find your battery, your cylinders, your fluids that you can make sure that you have for the windshield wipers and other important fluids to keep the vehicle going. I like this part of the car because I know that when I hit the accelerator, this is what's going to help me get up and go. And it's got a lot of pep to it as well. When you want to go from maybe a standstill entering into the highway, this will get you up to speed 0 to 60 in under 10 seconds. Here in the back of the vehicle is where you'll find the cargo area. There's a soft pad below the Hyundai logo just to the right of the backup camera. This is the most popular place in the vehicle for grocery hauling. You get your groceries, you don't want to put them in the front seat, you don't want to put them in the back seat. This is the place you want to put them. You can stack them side by side. You can put your paper products back here, whether it's paper towels or toilet paper. It'll fit nicely back here. The seat is also considered a 60-40 split. So 60% of the seat can fold forward, or 40% of the seat can fold forward to give yourself even more room for bigger items. Or if it's going to a bigger store like Costco, that's what you want to do. Fold those seats down to take advantage of all this space back here. Just below the floorboard, you'll find an extra styrofoam container here if you want to put some other items. I don't know what you'd put there, but it's available. And just below there, you have a spare tire. But this is the place to go if you want to store your groceries, bar none. This is the back seat. This vehicle seats 5 people, at least technically it does. I use it for my child car seats, which are both front facing. Not a lot of room behind the driver's seat for this child, but there is some adjustability for the passenger right here, but that's actually my position as a driver up front. Not a lot of room for the child back here. In fact, I think it's a little bit too tight. You'll have to come to your own conclusions whether or not it's useful for you. You do have a little space in between if you are a parent or maybe an aunt or uncle or taking the kids out, maybe a babysitter. This is where you put your bag for diapers and those kind of things, or extra clothes. But overall, I don't think it's a lot of good space back here for 3 adults. Not at all. Maybe 3 teenagers would be okay. But if you have 2 car seats like I do right here, it's not going to be a space to add 1 more adult in the back. But it is okay for 2 car seats, but it's not a lot of room behind the driver in the front seat if you're a larger person. I'm only 5'11", but if you're a bigger person, this seat's going to slide back more and have it a little too tight for the kids' legs when they're sitting in this spot right here. So that's what the back seat looks like. This is probably my favorite place in the vehicle. I spent a lot of my time driving up here. This is the front cabin. This is where you find your steering wheel, your infotainment screen, your instrument cluster, all the controls for your climate and radio, and as well as your different drive modes. Let me start it up. There's a push button right here. You press it, as long as the key's with you, it fires up just like that. This is a fully digital instrument cluster with the miles per hour on the left-hand side and the tach on the right and different things you can put in the center. The screen here, this will display your navigation, your media. You can sync your phone to it. Just below here, I have my cell phone, and it has a wireless charging pad down below. So as long as your phone is on top of it, it will charge automatically. There also is a USB port there as well. The infotainment screen has a lot of the information that you'll use as a passenger or driver when you're going around town. They've got the radio here, different media. You can set up a phone to connect it via Bluetooth, also different profiles, voice recognition, Bluetooth link, and so on. There's even a map and navigation. You can star the places you go. What I like about this is that you have dials to navigate the screen, but some of those same dials and controls can also be found here on the steering wheel. Left-hand side, we've got the volume. There's Bluetooth options on the right-hand side, steering controls, cruise control, and so on. So some of the things are redundant here on the steering wheel that you'll find right there. But that's great because let's say the passenger is controlling this. They can control while you just keep your hands on the wheel and do your driving. Otherwise, this area is very comfortable. I find it a great place to sit and just cruise around town. I like driving this car. It's been a lot of fun. Let's be honest, cars are meant to be driven from home to work, home to dinner, home to a friend's house, driven around town and on road trips. And the Hyundai Kona is one of those vehicles that can do that for you. My favorite thing about this vehicle so far, at least this week, has been the peppiness of the engine. I really like the turbo kick to this. You can really get up to speed at a very efficient pace. My second favorite area of this car has been the cargo area. I've used it every single time I've gone to the grocery store. It's the best place to store your groceries. I will have all the details about this car, the specs and so on everymandriver.com. I hope you enjoyed this overview of the 2022 Hyundai Kona. Until next time, thanks for watching. Adios. If you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. Here's the deal. I wanted to do a video without telling you anything helpful, anything that would make any sense, without any real substance behind it. I know some of you might say you do that all the time. Well, I wasn't giving you any specs, didn't give you any details or any driving. Well, I did give you some driving impressions. But, you know, I see videos sometimes and I come away with it dumber than I first started. You know, like, what was that about? They told me nothing. I learned nothing. And I hope you learned nothing about what this car is about based on that previous production. All the real information is going to be on everymandriver.com anyway, but I wanted just to see if I could be as obvious and generic and dumb as possible, and I think I accomplished that. And of course, you'll probably say you do that all the time. Here's the truth. This car is pretty sweet. I do have problems with the back seat not being good for adults, not really good for the kids with the car seat. Actually, that was helpful, I think. If you have car seats, you put them in the back, that's not going to be a good spot. My daughter, who's 2.5, has very little leg room there. I have to kind of move up a little bit, so my son will not be able to sit behind me, but he can sit behind the passenger seat. So for 3 adults in the back, no. Cargo, so-so. For driving around town, absolutely a great little vehicle, and I do think it's a peppy engine, and it was fine and fun to accelerate onto the highway. It's got great safety features, lane keeping assist, the adaptive cruise control. Those kind of things are nice. Fuel economy is good even with this turbo engine. I really love the styling of this car. I mean, this front end is what really stood out to me when I first got it going. That is different. I like what they've done here. They had some redesigned features that you'll see in the posting on everymandriver.com. I like what Hyundai and Kia have done with their infotainment. That is a great screen. It's actually a little bit slow to respond to the touch, which I thought would be something I should mention to you if I were to do a real review, kind of like what I'm doing right now. So the infotainment screen is nice, but there's a little delay when I'm trying to go in between different settings. Steering wheel mounted controls are standard. I like what that has to offer. Overall look of the vehicle is pretty cool. I was driving next to a Kia, which was, I think it was a Celtis, which looked very similar to this one, going, oh yeah, I know it looked like it was a Hyundai, but it was a Kia because they're the same family. But what they've done here on the outside is a significant upgrade from previous generations, and I like the way it looks. It's an easy vehicle to drive, just spacing. I wouldn't want to get one of these for myself with a family of 4, just not a lot of room. We had to think about, hey, should we go to Costco in the Kona or should we take the truck? We said, well, we'll go to Costco, but we can't get what we want to get because there just won't be enough room in the back. Obviously, the whole grocery bit was a joke. My favorite place, the most popular place for groceries is the cargo area. Duh. Anyhow, this has been a fun vehicle to drive. All-wheel drive has been helpful. There has been some icy and snowy things around town, so it's been easy to maneuver in and out of that. So the core information, the helpful information besides this little part right here will be on everymandriver.com. Thanks for sitting through this. I hope I didn't waste too much of your time in the beginning. It was more of a joke, more of a just like, how can I talk and talk and talk like some other YouTubers do and not tell you anything. So I don't think I told you much. You may have gotten some good information, but hopefully not too much because I wasn't trying to. Anyways, I'm Dave. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Adios. One final note, if you are in the market for a new vehicle soon, great. Connect with your local dealership and price and test drive at least 3 different vehicles. A vehicle's strengths and weaknesses can only be discovered when you are behind the wheel. My reviews can be good, but you need to test drive these yourself. Visit quotes.everymandriver.com, select the make, model, and your zip code, and you'll get invoice pricing in your area on those vehicles. Shop smarter with price quotes at quotes.everymandriver.com.
Thanks for watching. Please click subscribe and give us a thumbs up. See you next time.